So greetings everyone. In continuation to the last lecture in which we discussed about the effect of temperature on the rate of reaction and how if the temperature is increased by 10 degrees, rate of reaction doubles. So after understanding that concept, I think we can easily answer this question, that why some reactions take place at high temperature and not at room temperature. Why some reactions takes place at high temperature and not at room temperature. So we can answer this question as that for a reactant to convert into product, total amount of energy required is threshold energy. So if the energy of reactants is equal to or greater than threshold energy, then the reactants are converted to products easily. But if the energy of reactants is less than threshold energy, then reactants will not be converted into products because their energy is less than threshold energy. So if energy of reactants is less than threshold energy, then it needs additional energy so that their total energy becomes equal to the threshold energy and reactants are converted to products. So as the temperature increases, reactants absorb this extra energy so that their total energy becomes equal to threshold energy. This additional energy is called as activation energy. So we can write this formula as this is the energy of reactants at room temperature plus activation energy. We can write it as energy of activation. It is equal to threshold energy. So threshold energy is the sum total of energy possessed by reactants at room temperature plus additional energy which we give to the reactants in the form of activation energy. And we can draw the graph as on the x-axis we have plotted the progress of the reaction, y-axis has the energy of the reactants. So graph comes out to be like this. This is the energy of reactants. This is the energy barrier, which is topmost point represents the threshold energy or the energy barrier. And here this is the energy of products. So reactants to convert into products, they require how much energy? That is threshold energy, and they have to cross this energy barrier to convert into products. So this much amount of energy reactants out of total threshold energy, this much amount of energy reactants already have at the room temperature. So this much energy we have to give it from outside or additional energy in the form of heat or light. So this energy is called as activation energy. And this graph is for exothermic reaction. As we can see from delta H is equal to HP minus HR. So it comes out to be negatives. This is the graph for exothermic reaction. So when the molecules have energy equal to activation energy, then activated complex is formed, which is also represented at this point. This is high in energy. Activated complex is high in energy. It is represented at this point where we represent the threshold energy or the energy barrier of the system. For example, if we consider this reaction, that is A2 molecule plus B2 molecule, these are the reactants, gives us 2AB. So the reaction, how the reaction proceeds, this is how we can write the A2 molecule as AA shared by one bond plus BB molecule. So this is the activated complex. In this, bond between AA molecule is not completely broken, bond between BB molecule is not completely broken, and new bond between AB is not completely formed. So that's why we have represented it by the dotted line, and we get the product as 2AB. Best example is, for example, H2 plus I2 gives us this activated complex in which bond between H2 molecule is not completely broken, bond between I2 is not completely broken, and new bond between hydrogen and iodine atom is not completely formed. So after activated complex, we will get the product. So activation energy helps us to compare the rate of the reaction. If activation energy is low, if our activation energy is low, that means reactants require only small amount of energy to cross the energy barrier and they will be easily converted to products. So we can say that if the activation energy is low, reaction is fast, and if the activation energy is high, If the activation energy is high, so molecules, they require more amount of energy to cross the energy barrier, so they will be not be easily converted to products. So we can write that if activation energy is high, the reaction is slow. We can also represent it as like this, that rate of reaction is inversely proportional to the energy of activation. I hope this activation energy concept is clear. So we can easily answer this question. Let us discuss this question, that are these energy barriers blissful for the existence of life? Answer is yes. These energy barriers are blissful for the existence of life. As we know that fuels and explosives, they are stable in the presence of air and oxygen because they require high activation energy for their combustion. This high activation energy is not met at the ordinary conditions of temperature and pressure at the room temperature. So their energy requirements are not met at the ordinary conditions. They require extra energy in the form of activation energy, which we give in the form of heat, flame or light. They absorb this energy, that is activation energy, and their energy becomes equal to threshold energy, and then only they combust. That is, then only the reactants are converted to products. So we can say yes, these energy barriers are blissful for the existence of life. If the energy barriers will not exist, then fuels and explosives, they will not be stable at room temperature and they will burst or combust at room temperature only without any extra heat, light or flame needed. So we can say yes, these energy barriers are useful for the existence of life. So next factor is orientation of molecules and affective collisions. So it was observed then when that calculated rate of reaction, value of calculated rate of reaction was much higher than experimentally calculated value of rate of reaction. That rate of reaction ki value which we calculate using the formulas in our notebooks, that value was much higher as compared to experimental value which we go in lab and perform the practical and then we get the value. So these two values were not matching with each other. They show contradiction in their values. This was because many collisions are ineffective. We know there are effective and ineffective collisions. So ineffective collisions are those which do not have energy equal to threshold energy. So many collisions are ineffective in terms of energy factors also, and also due to improper orientations also. Due to improper orientations, they are not properly oriented at the time of collision. So many collisions are ineffective due to improper orientation also. So for effective collisions, proper orientation of reactant molecules is must. So this orientation factor is important. In last lecture we have written this equation that rate of reaction is equal to Z into F. So but this calculated value of rate of reaction was not in accordance with the experimental value because orientation factor was missing in this equation. So we have introduced that orientation factor as P. So rate of reaction is equal to P into Z into F, where P represents the orientation factor, Z is the collision frequency and F is the fraction of effective collisions. And it was found that value of fraction of effective collisions is e raised to power minus EA upon RT. So our equation becomes rate is equal to P into Z into e raised to power minus EA upon RT. So the next factor which affects the rate of reaction is catalyst. So what is catalyst? It is a substance which increases or decreases the rate of reaction without undergoing any chemical change in itself. So catalyst generally, not always, generally it decreases the rate of reaction by providing alternate path of lower energy. So activated complex which is formed, it is of lower energy. So we can represent it graphically in this form. This is the energy of reactant. They have to cross this energy barrier to convert into the product. So this is the solid line wala graph, this is for the uncatalyzed reaction. So for the catalyzed reaction, we have represented the graph by the dotted line. For uncatalyzed reaction, reactants, they cross the energy barrier and they are converted to products. So the activation energy for uncatalyzed reaction is this much. In the presence of catalyst, reactants में कोई change नहीं है, there is no change in the product, only they provide alternate path of lower energy, so the reaction proceeds by some other mechanism or by some other path. And this is the graph for catalyzed reaction, that is reaction which is taking place in the presence of catalyst. So this is the activation energy for the catalyzed reaction. So you can clearly see that activation energy for catalyzed reaction is much less than activation energy for uncatalyzed reaction. So catalyst mostly, not always, increases the rate of the reaction. So next factor which affect the rate of reaction is radiations. Some reactions we can see they do not take place in dark, but they take place in the presence of light, because in dark molecules don't have sufficient energy, that is energy of activation, to cross the energy barrier. But in the presence of light, they absorb energy in the form of light or heat, then they cross this energy barrier and they are converted to products. Next factor which affects the rate of reaction is solvent. We know there are different solvents which have different values of dielectric constants, polarities, and they interact differently with reactants and activated complex.